Hey there, Earthlings. Thanks for tuning in to the Bardo Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Bardo, where we talk about health, happiness, and anything else that's important to us humans. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the podcast by visiting thebardo.com or just click the little subscribe button wherever you listen to the podcast. And be sure to check out my Instagram at thebardo for all the latest videos and content. Thanks so much and enjoy the episode.
You're just funny. It's funny, you know, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how?
Come here though. Yeah, he's crazy, see? Who are you?
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly what.
It's probably a good move. But this is fine because then I could...
Podcast, I was tired of hearing his voice. He's like, my wife said the same thing.
Yeah, it's so funny because she doesn't even she listens, but she only listens like if I'm out of town or something. Because she's like, yeah, after 5 minutes, it's like, I don't even want to listen to you anymore. I was like, I get it. Makes sense. But anyway, so we've been recording, whatever. We're starting. Shane Garrity, what's up, bud?
What's up, brother?
Thanks for coming on the show again, and probably a little less sober than last time.
Well,
Well,
I would say more sober than last time.
All right, I like it.
Last time was Gasparilla, and I was probably like 400 Miller Lite Steve, so
Yeah.
I would say it went the other way.
Well, the first one was relatively painless, and then that second one was just not okay. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be as aggressive this time.
I hope not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay married.
Yeah, it's funny because before it wasn't even like you weren't even trying to. Was this a real thing? Like, were you even taking this seriously? Probably not. That's why. But now you've made some moves where you're kind of in this for the long haul, or you're going to end up paying 50% of your life for the rest of your life. So you better make it work.
That's correct.
And then Steve, what's up, bud?
Just chilling, man. Having a good time with brother-in-law over here, and he
Yeah,
asked me to come on a podcast, so here I am.
I know. I'm excited. It's been quite. And you say you have a little podcast that you do with your friends and shit too.
Yeah, we dick around.
Nice. Well, that's R-rated. All right.
Drinks and comedy. That's about it.
I like it. What's it called? We'll give it a little shout out.
Two good dudes.
Two good dudes. How many of there is you? Two?
There's two.
It's clever. It's very clever.
Yeah.
What if you
umlaut over the U and good, so it's
Ooh.
fun.
What if you want to to bring on one more person? Do you change the name of the show for the day, or is it always?
No,
Those two dudes.
no, we won't change it.
It's the two dudes that are good.
Mm-hmm.
And
Plus
then
extras, if there's extras.
I like it. Two dudes and guests. I
Exactly.
like my type of party. So hey,
Party.
welcome to the Bardo Podcast. Nothing crazy. I only have one subscriber, and it's my wife, so no big deal. No pressure. No, I really wanted to just kind of shoot the shit, mainly because this is a good time. Obviously, as we all know, I wish I could have been there. But I saw the videos and the reveal looked great, and congrats, Squirrel, on the little girl. That's exciting.
Yep.
You're a big boy now.
I suppose.
This is crazy, man, because this is the big reason I always wanted to have you back on the show with potentially less Kowskis in you, which we're not getting that today. I'm sure you're probably hammered after finding out it's a girl, but I'm glad you're on because this is crazy, bro, because I don't know if you think about this as much as I do. I know we talk about it all the time, but bro, 8 years ago, we were totally different people.
Yeah, we were both tools.
It's so, well,
We
tool,
were more focused on flexing 10 to 12 pounds of chicken a day and working out 4 times a day and smoking Marlboro Lights and going to hula hands every day after work. So
ooh, hoolies, I miss you.
she's in Allen House now, so.
Yeah, no, I think we actually went there for the grand opening. I had a buddy that got us some VIP passes. The new menu looks pretty dope, and the new layout and shit looks good. It's no hula hands though, because there's I'm sure there's less gay guys hitting on you at Miller Ale House than there was when we went to hula hands.
Well, be careful with that statement because we do live in Orlando, and
oh, bro, listen, you act like I have
you go to fucking Target and get,
Squirrel.
that's just what happens.
Squirrel, you act like I have a job to lose or something. I am a free man, bro. I am gonna have so many fucking stupid conversations before I get another job. I'm very motivated. And I'll probably end up like, I don't know, I'll probably end up posting. I did like the solo podcast, which I don't know if I'm going to post it because I literally got the call, that I got let go from a company that I've been with 7 years, and I never thought they would do it. And I got the call Friday, so just a few days ago. And then Friday, like at noon when I got the call, at like 12:05, I spent 4 minutes, sobbing to my wife and being angry. And then I went downstairs and I was going to work out, but I was like too hyped up. And I normally take a Monster before I work out, but I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like, that would be stupid, right? So I ended up throwing away all the cans that I had. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a fucking podcast. So I turned on my camera and I just talked. And I don't even know what I said. I haven't edited it or anything yet. So I might post that one before I post this one, because I'm sure there's probably some good nuggets in there, but I definitely talk shit for sure. But the reason I bring it up is because I mainly talked about like how I first worked at Coke. And like, when we were living together, it was waking up at 5 a.m., working out, and you put blood and sweat and tears into a company. And, you're just a number, unfortunately, to some of these companies.
Sure.
But it's good, though, man.
Game.
It's a numbers game, man. It's a numbers game. So, yeah, fuck it. Say whatever you want. Who cares? At least I can. Just don't talk about...
I appreciate your beverage choice.
Yeah, that's right. For people that are watching this on YouTube only, shout out Truly.
3 or 4 people that are watching.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hello. Hello, 3 or 4 people.
2 of them are here.
2 of them, yeah. 3 of them are in this room.
I love it.
So I was told this was a politics podcast, so when are we
I did not say that,
bro. It is whatever you need it to be. That's why I don't go live, because if I don't like it, I just edit it out and cut you out. So yeah, say whatever you want.
Yeah, you should edit it every time.
I would like everybody to know that I'm wearing a Whoop and I'm making it very obvious so that you'll get a sponsorship out of this, because
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Shout out Whoop and use the code Steve at whoop.com. Yeah, no, I tell you what, though, I don't want to talk about politics. I can, but you guys probably can't. But
we
don't get me started.
So are you guys unpolitically related? You guys vaxxed up? You guys got the juice in you?
Nope.
Steve, you don't?
I don't know if about him, but I don't. No.
I had my first shot.
Oh, that's right.
Wednesday.
The other day, yeah. So you got your second one coming up in a couple of weeks? 3 weeks? Is that what it is?
So yeah, September 8th, I believe, will be my round 2.
Ooh. And you got the Derna? What do you got?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, stay away from the Fies. That just sounds...
All the rich people get the Moderna.
It's all free. That's hilarious.
Zach's sitting next to me. He's got the Pfizer in his veins right now, and
Zach,
he just died on my couch. Oh.
Zach, why did you get one? You don't have to get one. Like, the owner of your business. Like, what are you doing? Because you are the owner.
I'm not trying to lose my job.
He doesn't want to be a part of the podcast.
Smart man. But here's what kind of upsets me, just because I want to talk about the vaccine a little bit for 30 seconds. But what kind of is annoying that I was just thinking about as we're having this conversation is I was mandated to get the vaccine because of work a month ago. Mm-hmm. And now I have fucking whatever, Bill Gates fucking juice in me. And, now I'm not even with the company. Like, it was pointless. Because obviously it doesn't do anything. We know that, right?
Would you have gotten it if it wasn't for work?
No, I would have. I probably would have, for sure. Yeah. But not like... I didn't like the fact that it was mandated. Well, I don't want to say mandated. That's probably the wrong word. They said you can't do your job if you don't get it. So
mandated. I hear you.
I mean, technically they didn't say it, but they're like, hey, if you want to still work here, you should probably get it. But no, I think it's important to get that, just because, I mean, again, just like any vaccine, it's just going to build up the immunity to it. But I think it was kind of a weird thing with this new variant. People that weren't vaxxed or vaxxed, the reason both of us can spread it is because if you don't have it and you're more susceptible to it, but you get vaxxed up, you could still technically spread it, right? So now the virus is hopping from one person to the other, trying to find a host, and it mutates. I mean, that's what viruses do. people don't realize that the reason we get the flu vaccine every year is because every year it changes. We don't. It's not like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's because it mutates. Every virus mutates. So it's not like if you get the flu vaccine once as a kid, that you're going to be good for the rest of your life. That's why they want you to get it. So
the flu is a weird one too, because you're getting in each flu shot you get 3 variants of the flu, but there's 100 of them floating around, and it's like maybe it's a shot in the dark with the flu shot. So
pun intended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get away from them. I've never had a flu shot, if I even remember it. But I don't know. I'm like, if I get sick, I get sick. But as far as the COVID thing goes, I'm like, I'm a biology major from that whole aspect of it, and I'm like, it just seems weird. I don't know. It just seems weird. It seems weird that it's pushed.
Oh, it's weird, man. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, we might have to do a separate podcast just on that. If you're a biology major, I like to pick your brain.
I like that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be interesting. Yeah, it's just imagine if it wasn't around election season, would we care so much? Like, would it be that big of a deal?
Point.
Yeah, that's
interesting. The point. Is it was so pushed, and that's what makes me weary. That's the only thing. Is that, and the FDA hasn't approved it, and I'm like, well, it's the first vaccine of its kind, and it wasn't approved. But you're offering me $100 to go get it, so I don't know. I feel awkward about it. Very awkward.
Hey, and $100 is $100.
I mean, sure. If you want to look at it that way.
By the way, speaking of unemployment, did you know you could donate like a shit ton of plasma?
Yeah,
like
you make some good money off of it. Though.
Because I'm messing around. You know what I mean?
What's the effect on your body when doing that?
Who knows, man? Probably the same as COVID. Who cares? Whatever. I mean, what am I?
How much can you make a year off of plasma donations?
So you could donate. You could donate.
There's got to be a cap, though. You can only do it so many times before you die.
I don't think there is.
No, you can. The first time you do it, it takes 3 hours. Because essentially all they're doing is they're pulling out all your blood, creating plasma, and putting it right back in. Essentially, the first time is you get $350, and then the second time you can come back every 2 weeks, and you get $175. Yeah, I mean,
side hustle, for sure.
Yeah, a little side hustle. I mean, it's like Uber.
Mm-hmm.
It's like driving Uber.
How do you monetize it now? Like after, can you sell the leftovers on the side, or
like on the black market? I don't know. It's a good question.
I'm trying to start a side hustle. Tell me, you in? All I need is $5,000.
Yeah.
And you'll be a millionaire in 5 years.
I could be down with that. But what was kind of shysty about that, because I was looking into it, how to make some income. It kind of seems very like multi-level marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you sign up for it, they also give you a referral code, so you could send that to people, and every time they go, they make like $150. You make $150.
So it's a
little shysty.
Yeah. It's a little dicey.
That's a little suspect. It's definitely like fucking Amway or something. I don't know. Yeah, that's weird. You still got the balloons back there? Is that what that is?
Yeah, do you want to take a look?
Yeah, let me see what's going on over there.
We got the arch, the full arch.
Is Lindsay around?
Lindsay is pregnant somewhere. That's all I know about her, really. She's pregnant somewhere.
She's pregnant, doing something pregnant people do.
We thought we should probably pop all of the blue balloons at this point.
Yeah, that's a good
we
move.
think we should pop all the blue balloons, and also we think that maybe there's still a chance that it'll come out as a boy. I'm pushing for it, really. I hope the doctors can do something for it, but we'll see.
What do you mean there's a chance? Is that a real thing?
I don't know. There's no scientific backing on this.
Yeah, not at all. Where the fuck's Shane?
He's coming back right now. He had to go check on his bird somewhere.
Bird?
Yeah. They've got cardinals out there that they check on periodically.
Wait, like they have, or they're just wild cardinals that come and hang out?
No, they're wild cardinals that come and hang out.
Okay. I was like, what the?
Wild cardinal. He's super into them recently, though. I don't know. You could ask him about them. I don't know.
Like, what the? What are you doing with cardinals, bro?
They nest actually in the attic, so during the day they go out and fly around and they scurry around and gather things and feed themselves, and then at night we put them in the nest in the house. So.
In the attic. You don't want that. That's no bueno.
No, but it's warm.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's perfect.
I mean, what if they're
Perfect environment for a nest.
obviously you've never seen an Alfred Hitchcock movie, but okay. Keep them coming.
Here's the thing. I'm a fan of Alfred Hitchcock, but he seemed too cocky to me. You know, like, it's just, like, make a normal movie, dude.
Just make a normal person movie, okay? Enough with this bird shit.
Don't bring so much fucking ego into your bird movies, dude.
Yeah, it's a good move. Hey, but so Squirrel, we're talking about your little one, man. Are you excited now that you're a papa?
I am super excited.
Walk us through that. I want to know. I'm excited for you.
I mean, there's not much to say.
Don't tell
it's
Lindsay
done.
that. Jesus, negball.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No.
Start from the beginning.
When was the first time you guys had sex? Tell us that.
Yeah, so you guys went out for dinner. You came home.
Just
Do you
kidding.
want me to describe to you how
How's it feel?
came about? No. It feels good, man. I just, most people in the family were hardcore. Oh, it's gonna be a boy. It's gonna be a boy.
Mm-hmm.
I can just feel it. I can see it. I thought that myself. As soon as I swung that golf club and saw the pink smoke, I just couldn't believe my eyes.
The video was hilarious. I rolled with that one. That was great.
Yeah, I got a lot of comments back that I was pissed off or whatever. I wasn't. None of those emotions took place. I was actually in shock. Shock's a real thing. So
Because you didn't want a girl.
no, it has nothing to do with it. No, I just didn't think.
He's a firm believer in China's one-child policy.
Yeah, one child, and then you're done. If not, they kill him. Yeah.
Smart. No, but I mean, either way, dude, that's very exciting. And the problem with, I mean, your daughter's not going to see this for probably 18 years anyway. When I do this full time and become big time, but I mean, but the issue a lot of guys, at least for me, and I know we've talked about this before, where when you have a boy, you only got to worry about one penis. But when you have a girl, you have to worry about everyone. And we know, and the problem.
Santa, I really appreciate you adding that in.
Hey, man, you're gonna have to.
I've already fucking come to terms with that. So just you coming over the top is really setting it in for me. Thanks,
Tony. I feel like I would be doing this whole thing a disservice by not mentioning the fact that you're wearing an OnlyFins shirt. While we're talking about having a daughter.
Yeah, OnlyFans. Shout out Patch Vibes. My buddy runs a company, and it's Dolphin Swag, but it's a take on.
It's a sweet shirt.
It's not bad.
Also,
OnlyFans.
There's a chance that a daughter might be a slut someday, and
Jesus.
we need to talk about it and air it out.
Oh my God! And Shane, this was your idea to have Steve on. I want to point that out.
Yeah, not mine.
Yeah, we'll cut that part out, Steve. Too soon, man. Too soon. It is kind of cool that a girl's kind of great, I think, in my opinion, because I'd be happy with either one. But having being the daddy's girl. I mean, your daddy, right? Like there's nothing like better. It's like me. I'm a boy. I'm obviously a man. I'm a boy. I'm a grown boy. But I was more.
Any girl can call you daddy. That's just
okay. Don't take it that way. Don't take it that route. That's something Steve would say. But it's
shout out Call Her Daddy podcast.
No, but what I'm saying, what I'm saying though is I mean, Shane, you know this, right? Like we're obviously close to our dads. Our dads have known each other for years, but our dads are different breeds. Like I was more empathetic, and it's just there's a different relationship that a boy has with his mother, and vice versa. I would imagine with the daughter and the father. So it's kind of a special bond, I think.
I think if he's a good father, then we're in a good spot.
Yeah, no, we're definitely
down a negative route, which
we're definitely talking about different humans. I mean, Shane, is not a good father now, but I think in 8 months he's gonna get there. He
uses his dogs, but it's fine.
Yeah, he's gonna get there. Yeah,
everybody's okay with it.
Speaking of being an adult, Squirrel, how's the new crib, man?
It's good, man. It's a work in progress.
Yeah,
it's second job for me, honestly.
Yeah, dude.
So I go to work and come home and continue to work and get done on Friday and think it's a weekend and no, just gonna work some more. but I wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homeowner is it's fun, kind of, but it's definitely a second gig for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too personal, but how's your situation going with the whole
House?
no
Oh,
the other situation?
venereal diseases? Those are gone.
Do you have herpes? No.
My bad, by the way.
It's
for
not
the herpes.
It's not herpes if it's everywhere.
My bad, bro.
If it's all over your entire body, it's fine.
Yeah, that's not
Bachelor
herpes.
party got weird. It was a whole thing.
Yeah. What, Crohn's?
No.
I have so many issues. You gotta be more specific.
You're very. I don't want to get into it. If you want to talk.
Hey,
about
get
it.
into it. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's all good.
You brought it up.
Yeah, now I'm curious.
How's your pregnancy attempt going?
I cannot believe you would fucking talk about on this show. You're gonna bring that up.
Yeah,
No, I'm just kidding, man. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Nah, dude, we're still cranking, man. We're still trying.
Still crank.
Yeah, we're still cranking. But no, we're going through multiple phases to try to get some different alternatives. So, I mean, everything's good on both of our ends, both of our sides of the fence. Yeah, we're just kind of trying to figure out our options. So, nothing good to report quite yet. No gender reveal parties in the horizon quite yet. But this was kind of a good thing, I think, with like the job and a new career because Monster, even though they treated me good while I was there, I would never leave that company. But I was like, because I was running the whole Southeast for marketing, like it was the next step was running the country, and that guy is not going to retire for 15 years. So unless I wanted to move to California, there was no advancement opportunity for me. So it kind of worked out the best because now I could find a gig to where it pays twice as much. I can work from home. When we start a family, I can feel super comfortable. She doesn't have to work. Like that's ultimately the goal, is to get a salary that's good enough for where she doesn't have to work and we can afford to, have the kid here and homeschool. And this worked out better. So I think it's kind of good that it's taken a while. You know what I mean? It's all meant to be, man.
What are you hoping for? I mean, obviously you just want a healthy child, but if it's a healthy child, it's male, female, they, them, what do you want?
I actually want, and Squirrel, we talked about this. I mean, I would love, I just love twins, whether that's 2 girls, 2 boys,
Really?
boy and a girl. Because my dad's a twin, so it's in my family.
My mom is too.
Oh, yeah? So, I mean, that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to get 2, because that's what my wife wants is 2, and then I'm just going to get snipped and call it a day.
Knock it
That's
out real quick. Yeah.
Just call it a day.
Get yourself a
Little
Oh,
vax.
you snipping?
Yeah, dude, if I get 2 right off the bat, fuck yeah, dude, I'm toasting out. Because you know what's going to happen, right? Like, it's been kind of a challenge for us to get pregnant. I love how, like, guys are such dicks, like us, like, as if I have to do anything except for... I mean, come on, there's really no... So it's been a challenge for her, right? Unfortunately. But, we're trying. But even though it's been a challenge, I mean, we've always talked about usually what happens if it's difficult, the second you have your first kid... It's like fucking, you pop them out like a gumball machine afterwards, no matter what. That's just how the human body works. So like that's why, so that's why if I want to do 2 right off the bat, I'm gonna get snipped because I'm never strapping up. Like again, like why would I ever?
Why would you?
That makes no sense. But I also don't want 10 kids. So I mean,
You're white.
Jesus, Steve, what the fuck?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about the number
You
of kids
racist?
that like,
Fucking.
I didn't mean to bring that into it. No, I'm just thinking about like statistically.
Oh yeah.
I think you're okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking statistics.
You're saying to like even it out?
Yeah.
Right.
Like you're fine. Like you don't need 6 kids.
Yeah, and the problem is, I mean, she's Spanish too, so
She is. I didn't know that she was Spanish.
Yeah. So I want to do my part to lower that population as well.
Just the way that you said it made it what I said way more aggressive.
Yeah, but you see, I did that. You see, I one-upped you to make you look good. You're welcome.
Yeah, I don't need them lowering a population.
Right.
I'm just thinking, for your sanity, you don't need 6 little ones running around.
No, dude, I mean, I don't know if we've hung out long enough for you to know, but I mean, you can ask Zach and Shane, and I think one of me is more than enough. Like, there's There does not need to be more than 2 of me.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Honestly, I don't even think that I want a child, but if one just so happens to come across, I'm not gonna kill it. Like, it's fine.
Jesus.
He can hang out, or she can hang out.
Yeah, you should definitely not procreate.
It's not my thing, you know.
Yeah. I strongly advise for you not to create humans, for sure.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Noted.
It's a good move. Yeah.
I agree also, and my parents are pushing for it, and I'm like, gosh, do you really? Like, you guys, you raised me, and you want another one of these?
Yeah, that's madness.
I don't know, man. I think the family name, it's already carrying. I'm good. I'll save some money, pass it down to whatever they pop out, you know?
Yeah, I mean, a boy would be nice because I do need to carry on the family name. Like, I'm the only Berardo left. Technically, technically there's one more, but I don't know if he's gonna, you know.
He wears a helmet, is what you're saying.
Something like that. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna repopulate the earth. We'll see. But yeah, it's pretty much me. Like I was talking about, just carrying on the family name.
No. Yeah.
You know, you got Sean, so there's hope. Like for me, I'm the last Berardo. Like that's it. So if I just have nothing but girls and I shoot out a bunch of girls, you know, I'm going to have a problem. We were saying this when you were gone, where shouldn't there be more Tonys? I mean,
I don't think so.
What?
He reassured me that I should not have anybody, and I said, that's fine.
Yes. Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to earn my keep, and I'm just going to pass it down onto whatever you guys have.
Yeah,
call it a day.
I told Steve that after the short amount of conversation I've already had with him, he should not duplicate his genes. There's way,
and I agree, and that's why I actually have a scheduled vasectomy. I missed it a couple of times, but it's coming up.
So Shane, you got the house, you got the kid. Obviously, you're married naturally. What's next, man? Like you're doing all the big boy stuff. You got anything else planned? What's going on? You got the good job. Like what else?
Talk about your transition.
Yeah, so
what's
next?
That you can't talk about on the podcast. Okay.
No.
Yeah, my bad, too.
His, them, her, they, all that stuff is acceptable on the Berardo podcast. Okay.
I'm not trying to get toasted.
It's on me.
We're an equal opportunity employer.
I want every one person that listens to this to know that I'm the one that brought it up, and don't cancel either of them.
Steve, what's your last name, Steve?
Van Kieran, and I want the world to know.
Van Kieran, and where do you work, and what's your home address? No, I'm just kidding.
So here's the thing: I work on my own, and I live on
in a van by the river.
Live in a van down by the river.
Live on the streets.
So yeah, but Shane, what's next for you, bud? What else you got going on?
I mean, what could I possibly do other than
you done?
Mow my grass and trim my hedges and be a dad.
It sounds pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm toast. I need to take a break, man. I need to take a breather and just kind of resettle. A lot of things happen all in one time, and it was a lot. You know, you got to if your head's not screwed on right. Those type of they say that a lot of anxiety and stress comes from life changes, whether it's new job, buying a home, having a child. When all three of those things happen at one time, it's like, holy shit, like your head's gonna explode. I think we're in a good spot to kind of reset. And all three of those things happen at once simultaneously, which is a lot to handle. You know, my wife's a badass. She's a rock star, and her and I have just kind of dug in the trenches and just fought through all those things. And we've got a lot of shit done in the last 2 months of being new homeowners and now parents to be, and from the career standpoint, moving through different jobs and all these things. So, but I can tell you in the future is we're going to continue to just do what we're doing. I mean, that's not very detailed, but
no, dude, that's all you can do. And I think proper planning, and we've talked about this offline, but even when you plan to do stuff, it doesn't always work out. More often than not, it doesn't work out the way you want. So
no, there's never a good time to be ready to do all these things. It kind of just happens. Obviously we have one life to live, so we try to take each day to the fullest. And Lindsay and I didn't think the whole pregnancy thing was going to work out, and it miraculously did. And then the whole house going through and the jobs and all the things, those things weren't planned. So we just kind of roll with the punches, and you adjust and you adapt, and you move forward.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you can only take the decisions at hand that come to you, and just do the best you can with those decisions. That's it. It's interesting how we, let's talk about real quick how long we've known each other. So we've known each other for, I don't even know, over 12 years? How long? 13 years?
At least.
Yeah, maybe more. But,
Well, no, we knew each other before that, but...
Yeah. Yeah, there
was that time that you were that little dickhead that thought you were a WWE wrestler in your dad's RV outside the Citrus Bowl trying to fucking smash Coke cans on your face.
Yeah. I mean,
that's when I first met you. That was about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a second? I'm curious.
I mean,
Tony thought he was in the WWE, man. This guy was like...
Yeah, I mean, technically...
he did Jackass before Jackass was a thing.
Yeah. I mean, technically, like, our dad knew each other... realistically probably like 20-something years ago, and we may have like hung out at like company functions and every now and again or something, but I was a little bit older and more immature probably. But I would have I started my own league, like a Jackass type league, but it was also wrestling, and I still have the videos. One day I'm gonna make a podcast of that to where you can watch these videos, but they're all on DVDs. I showed Brenda some of them, and they are disgusting and outrageous, but it was like I would jump off my roof, and we had like a big ass video camera, and I would jump on a table, like a wooden table, literally like WWE. But our production value, as you can imagine, was not at the WWE status. So
The first time I met you, I'll tell the story real quick.
Yeah.
First time I ever met Tony Barardo, my dad's like, "You want to go to Monster Jam?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Monster Jam trucks, let's fucking do it." I'm like 7. Tony's probably like 12. I don't know. How old are you, Tony?
I'm 36.
I was probably 8 and you were 12.
Right.
And Tony's dad had an RV, and he would like park it, the tickets and everything's great. Get the suite from Coke, or both our dads worked Coke. Yeah, the first time I met this motherfucker, he comes fucking busting out the side of the RV door, smashes a Coke can across his head, and then dives out the stairs in the grass, and like runs through a fucking tent. I'm like,
yeah.
To my dad, I'm like, you guy's a fucking dildo. What the fuck's he doing?
Yeah.
Little did I know that we'd eventually become best friends,
good friends,
live together, and fucking all this shit. So
crazy, and it all happened because I was a psychopath. Yeah, worked out well.
Yeah, great job. I'm proud of you.
Thanks, bud. Yeah, but my first backyard wrestling video had like a nice table, and then we broke it. But because we had like
wrestling videos.
Yeah, but here's the funny thing. From every listen, I'll show you guys one time. I'm not comfortable sharing it with social media yet. That's how ridiculous I look.
Why not?
But the rest of the video, the first video, it was me busting through a table. But then you could tell the rest of the videos, we duct taped the table back together so we can keep breaking it because we couldn't. It's not like we could keep buying tables. Like we found this table at a thrift store and we're like, oh, this is great. Let's just break through it. And then, we would have chairs and ladders, and it got aggressive at one point. But yeah,
why don't you just stream it live right now on the feed? That's so we can all see it.
No. Well, I have to.
I don't understand why you wouldn't just share that with us right now. We're talking about it. So
well, they're DVDs, so I can't share it. I have to convert them to like a USB.
Oh my god, those exist?
People don't talk about DVDs anymore. You might want to describe what those are for the kids.
Well, bro, here's what's gonna blow your mind, kiddos. Is they were
Did you record that with your camcorder?
No, they were VHSs on a camcorder, and then
you converted them.
And then I converted them like 8 years ago to a DVD. And I just watched them on a DVD. I don't even have a DVD player. I have an Xbox, and they wouldn't work on the Xbox because my Xbox is like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know what this is. So, because my Xbox only works with Blu-ray, like it doesn't even recognize a DVD. I had to buy like one of those portable $12 DVD players, and you hook it up with like the 3 aux cords, the yellow, red, and white. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And my new TV doesn't even have those inputs.
All HDMI.
Yeah. So anyway, I showed my wife like a couple weeks ago, and she fucking lost it. So I'll have to figure out a way to convert it.
I really, really, really want to see that shit.
It's pretty incredible.
I love the dedication to like, hey, these are very important, so I'm gonna convert them from VHS to DVD a couple of years ago.
It's that good. To be honest, I'm pretty lucky because my dad was more egotistical than I am, if you could believe that. So he videotaped me my whole life. So I have like a mini... Literally, I have a mini documentary from the age of 1 to like 11, 12. And then that's when I took over with the video camera and made backyard wrestling jackass videos. So I have like my very first birthday on video. I'll eventually like convert it.
Zach's outside, but his camcorder he had back in the day when he grew up in the neighborhood, there's videos of me and Sean, Zach, John, riding skateboards off of roofs.
Jesus.
You know, doing silly shit. I wish we could find those, but he's like, I can't. I don't. It's all gone.
They got to be somewhere.
They got to be somewhere.
That'd be so awesome. Yeah,
they're not on the interweb because we didn't have that at the time. But
yeah, it's wild to look back and see how much of a different person you are. It's even more crazy to think, especially you, like the more we keep trying to start our own family, the more I think about, and even Lindsay, obviously, because she's probably a few months now, right? Like 3 months, 4 months. So
she's 13 weeks.
13 weeks. So for me, it's kind of like the only thing I could think about when I see kids and I look at us and I look at these videos, like we were all babies. We all came from another woman. Like we were inside a human.
Well, I hope you came from a woman, not a man.
Well, yeah.
That'd be weird.
Weird. You kind of came from a man. I mean,
it's possible.
I mean, who the fuck knows at this point?
You came from a sack, so.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
Think about it. Every single person, like women make all the people.
We're just a different kind of idiot now. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
It's funny growing up and you think like, oh, this person's 25 years old. They got their shit together. They figured it out. And you grow up and you're 25 years old and you're like, I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah.
They didn't have their shit together, but somehow they were raising me and changing my diapers, and now I'm supposed to do the same thing and instill some sort of values that I don't even have. Like, I don't know.
I think there's this expectation, like as you get older, but then you start to realize, like especially me, I'm 36. I'm realizing like I had these plans and these goals in mind, and you can't control anything. Like you could work for a multi-billion-dollar company, they lay you off, or it could go bankrupt, or the CEO could be embezzling money and they get shut down. Like a lot of things could not be in your control, but how you react to things is the important.
You.
Yeah, it's all you. And, there's no expectation like that. I'm going into life now. I probably about 8 years ago, I went into life. No expectation. Like, what am I comparing myself to? Who am I? What, do I want to be like Tom Cruise? I mean, what am I trying to do here? Like, the fact is there is no plan. Like, who cares?
Did you go into Scientology or did you just dabble with it?
No. Just because I live in Tampa does not mean I'm big into
I thought maybe you might have had some fun with it.
I got to tell you though, it does pique my interest for sure.
Mm-hmm. That a failed writer created a religion that is the truth. I mean, it's everything that I believe in, and I really want to push this on this podcast that I believe in everything that Scientology preaches.
Good for you. It's not so far-fetched. Like, is it?
Okay.
I mean, think about it though. Is it more far-fetched than a guy coming back from the dead?
No, it's the same.
It's the exact same.
I denounce all of it.
Yeah,
I was raised in it, but I denounce it.
Yeah, it's all far-fetched. I mean, we're all just listening to people. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I think there's a lot of good nuggets that come from religion. There's a lot of good values that are instilled, but...
Okay, so I'll tell you that, as to get real, I guess, for a second.
While Shane's gone? Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. He doesn't need to hear this.
Yeah.
As far as the community goes, I think that's important. you instill important morals and values as far as the community goes in any religion, any of them. And that goes across the board. I mean, I'm sure it spans to, fucking stuff that I don't believe. Yeah. But as far as, a woman was impregnated and gave birth to a child that was from God and everything like that, it's like, it's okay. Yeah, it's not believable for me, but there's a lot of good that comes from it. And then you bounce back and you're like, to me, I'm just like, I'll take all the morals, I'll take all of the value out of it, but why does it have to be this magical thing? Like, why can't it be what's in front of you? Like, you know what I mean? Like all the planets and the Earth, they're all living in my eyes. So why does it got to be this weird existential thing that makes no sense to anybody, but it's a miracle? I don't know.
Well, I think the big thing with religion that's kind of challenging, that has been ever since we've been able to comprehend what we are as a species, is like, if you really think about it, right? And tell Shane to not get up every fucking 5 seconds, or I'm just going to call this shit short. But if you get deep into it, it's like, we're the only species on Earth that is aware that we're going to die one day.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, it is scary to where either 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 1,000,000 years ago, whatever it was, whenever we were capable, we had to think of something to tell our kids, like Santa, to not scare the shit out of them. You don't want your kid running around, back in the day when they were cavemen, you don't want your kid running around with a club killing other kids, so you have to tell them, yo, listen, dude, if you keep doing that, you're probably going to go to hell. What's hell? And then boom, that's, things can happen. So
you make up a story.
Yeah. And then, after thousands of years, it gets, diluted like the telephone game. You ever played the telephone game? Like,
there's something interesting too, though, where like, and I don't know if this is going too deep, but the flood story is interesting to me because it teaches a valuable lesson of like, you got to protect everything that's sacred to you. And like, you save all the animals, and Moses goes over and he takes them all on the boat and everything. And then you look at all of the religion, every religion except for Hinduism, I think, is the only one that doesn't have a flood story. And then you look back and you look at where, all of them came from, and it's like, well, there probably was a flood. And then they created this grandiose story about it, how they saved everybody, and it teaches a good moral value. But why does my life have to be based on this grandiose story of everything? It just makes no sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and back then, I mean, they didn't. They thought gods came from the stars, right? When they saw like, the Big Dipper, they thought that was like something in the sky because they didn't know what stars were. So a lot of that was just like kind of guessing. And then, eventually they
only
believed
a couple million people on Earth are all dispersed around.
Yeah. So, there's nothing wrong with that because, I mean, shit, there was, thousands of years ago, we thought the Earth was flat, right? And then eventually we realized that it wasn't. So once we learned new
right.
But the problem is, some people. The problem is religion is the only thing that we've proved essentially wrong, and we've led it with science and actual facts, but it's the only thing that we haven't given up on. Like the flat Earth thing, there's science behind it, right? But there's a small portion of people that believe it still. But the vast majority of humans, I think, believe that the Earth is not flat. So, and that's because of science-driven data. But religion's the only thing that we kind of like let slide. Like even, I mean, everyone knows it's not the year 2021, right? Like that's not a thing. Just to add to that before you go on. So Christians won. Like
that was exactly what I was gonna say. It's the classic bit.
Yeah.
They did it.
They got it.
Like everybody accepts it.
Yeah.
And it's fine, but
so well done.
It makes no sense to me. Like it makes no fucking sense, dude.
But it's weird that no one questions it.
People do, I'm sure. I
mean, but who does? Who? Like what? Like
nobody I've met.
I mean, but the UN, they don't question it. It's the United Nations. It's the world leaders. And they all came to the realization, all right, folks, it is 2021. We're going to go with it. Even though the Earth is millions of years old, humanity has been around for hundreds of thousands of years. But we're just going to pick eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and Christianity. it's 2021. Like, strange, man.
I mean, they're goated, dude. Like,
Yeah, they're
honestly,
goated.
it's the Tom Brady of religions. It was a
Yeah.
comeback story. In all honesty, it was the long play. It was a comeback story, and they fucking won, dude.
And what I love most about it is, like, if there's any people that question it, they're like, oh, but there's BC. So then
Shut up, dude.
then you
Nobody
got
in
BC.
BC was like, oh, it's the year -5.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
not a thing.
That's so strange. But, listen, I think there's, just like there's huge benefits to telling your kids that there's a Santa Claus. Sorry, kids, spoiler alert, no Santa. There's benefits to that for sure. There's benefits to Elf on the Shelf. I get it. But
There's benefits to believing in anything.
Sure.
And there's also benefits to just understanding that every single person on this earth that has ever lived has died and is going to die.
Yes.
And it's come to terms with it. It's comfortable.
Yeah.
It really is. Like, it's not something to be afraid of. It's not something to freak out about. But there's also, you're not going to go to this magical place or this fucking horrible place.
Yeah.
You're
well, I mean,
nobody knows.
well, yeah,
You'll
maybe.
find out.
Maybe you will. We don't know.
Well, maybe, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
What's the point of thinking about it?
And here's the fun thing: whenever we do find out, no one's gonna know.
Nobody's gonna know.
There
This
was
whole
this-
world's still gonna keep on doing its
Yeah.
thing. Everybody might die at one point, and
Bro,
everybody
there-
might live at one point.
There was
It is what it is.
there's this great Louis C.K. bit. He's probably one of my favorite comedians. But there's this great bit where he opens up and he talks about, he goes, what's interesting? He goes, out of everybody in this room that's in this auditorium right now, we all have one major thing in common, is we're all going to die. Fact.
Mm-hmm.
We're all going to die. And the other fact is there's more dead people than there has been people that are alive.
Mm-hmm.
Like if there was a spot where people were dead, we would know about it. Because there's been millions and millions and billions of people that have died. Like, but no one's figured out a way to let us know. Like,
Yeah.
there's so many dead people that have existed and died. It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me too to think about, like, the pale blue dot photo of, you look at a picture of the Earth from millions of miles away,
Right.
and you just look at it and you're like, every conqueror, every person that's ever lived, everything, every dispute has happened on this little thing.
Yeah.
And it seems so important because it's so grandiose to us that, like, it's nothing of importance, man.
No.
It really isn't. It's not that big of a deal.
And we
Everything's fine.
take it for granted. I just watched a really cool documentary on Netflix called Kiss the Ground, and it talks about, like, soil and the earth and kind of like what we can actually do to bring back agriculture and do it the right way to where we don't run out of soil and we don't run out of, like, plants and food and
Nutrients.
nutrients, because we are very, we're running out. Like, our kids are going to have some problems. Everyone around is just trying to get by, man. They're just trying to pay bills. Like, they're not worried about that shit. And that's kind of the problem, is, like, we've been for these thousands of years, we've been, like, trained to evolve into these, like, really smart individuals that can make this cool thing called money that we invented to buy things that we don't really need, that we're not going to go to the grave with. But we work so hard every day to get those things, and we forget about, like, just like a virus, like we talked about earlier. The whole point of a virus is what? Is to mutate, to make more of the virus. That's its purpose.
To infect.
Infect. And that's kind of like what an organism is. We're all carbon. We're just an organism that, in order for us to survive, we have to procreate. We have to make more people. But we got to have a place to live. Everybody is, like, worried about, like, what you and I are going to do today and tomorrow, and what we're going to buy and where we're going to live and what we're going to do. But then we forget, like, in order for our species, the human species, to live, we got to make sure these folks are, like, taken care of in 100 years, 1,000 years. But, we forget about that sometimes, where we're just this small little insignificant ball floating in space, literally turning every single second. And, we just can't wrap our head around it. And I think maybe that's why we surround ourselves with the materialistic shit, is because it's kind of funky, right? It's weird to think about, what's going to happen when I'm 90. Like, that's weird. That's scary to think about, right?
Bizarre.
It's weird.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything that you look at. I mean, just especially for us,
Right.
in the age that we were raised in. You look at the advance in technology over the past 30 years. You sit here and you're like, damn, dude, I grew up with a dial-up where you'd hear the noise and everything, and now you got kids that are just sitting on iPads at fucking 2 years old, figuring their way around it, and they got it all down. And you're like, damn, dude. Like,
Yeah, they got a
an iPad wasn't even what? Like,
Wasn't
it
even a
wasn't even conceivable at the time when you were sitting there trying to play pinball on your laptop at 10 years old.
Yeah.
Or not even a laptop, it was a desktop, and you'd sit there and you'd play pinball, and that was the game.
Yeah.
That was the game. You played pinball. And if you didn't play pinball, you played solitaire, or you played Minesweep, and you didn't understand how Minesweep worked.
Right.
And nobody understood how Minesweep worked.
Yeah. Still.
And then you grow up and you're like, there's fucking a million games. And
Yeah. It's crazy, man.
It's just a crazy advancement.
Yeah, dude. Who knows what's going to be in another 15, 20 years? It's terrifying. But it's kind of fun, though. I'm excited about it.
I am too.
So what's up? Is Shane done? What's going on here?
Seems like it's dinner time, brother.
Shane, what the fuck, bro? This was your idea.
He's out here cooking.
It's a dick move, Shane. It's okay, bud. Don't worry. I only see you twice a year, Shane. No big deal.
He can't even hear you right now.
Oh, he can't? Oh, is he? All right, thought he was. No, dude, the only thing, we'll close it out, because I got to cook some dinner too. But the only thing I wanted to mention was I think it's important to talk about, because this is the only thing I really want to talk about with you, is when we lived together and what we did.
A complete shitty mess.
Yes. Up to like where we are now. It's mind-boggling. It wasn't that far. It wasn't that far. I mean, what was it, 8 years ago, maybe? It wasn't that long ago. I mean, 8 years ago. 8 years ago, I got my shit together. I mean, you took a little longer, but that's okay.
I did. It's okay.
I'm older, so I should have had my shit together. I shouldn't even moved in with your ass. That was problem number one.
Yeah, exactly. That was a bad choice.
Great start.
You're 4 years my senior, so you should have been a big brother, but you weren't. You were a little brother. And
That's right.
good at being doing some dumb shit, but it's all right. We survived.
That's why I have Crohn's.
Yeah, that's exactly why you have Crohn's.
Yeah. No, but it is kind of funny because we were talking about this when you were gone for 6 hours. But we were talking about how every human, it's so crazy how like we all start, from this little fetus, a little guy, a little girl, and then we grow up to these people, and then we, each take a different path, and it's no matter who tells you what to do, you kind of have to like form your own thing. Because I mean, for so many years, me, Zach, we try to tell you what to do. You guys have told me stuff. Like that's just how friends are, right? We try to make friends what we think they should be. But really, ultimately, the idea is you just got to figure it out on your own, and you're going to make mistakes along the way. But eventually, you figure it out. There's really no time frame where we always put this like pressure on ourselves where, oh, you have to find the person you're going to marry when you're 25, and you have to buy a house at 30, and you have to do this. You don't have to do anything. That's the cool thing. Right? Like, you don't have to. You could do it whenever you want, or you could get a house. You could rent a house for the rest of your life. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. You got to do what's best for your situation. So it sounds like, even though it seemed like maybe you took a little bit longer, but you really didn't. No one is. There's no, finish line. But it sounds like the last, 4 or 5 years, you really buckled down.
The finish line is death. so we're all trying to
nice callback.
Or is that
trying to move along towards that line, I suppose, if you want to call it.
Or maybe it's the beginning. Maybe the end is the beginning.
Every moment along the way. It's about the ride.
Yeah, man. No, it is about the ride for sure. That's a good call. But what do you think has changed, since we moved out, right, 8 years ago or whenever it was, and I bought my first house and I, started doing my thing. What do you think changed in your life to where it was all of a sudden it clicked? Was it something that you were working at? Did it just happen? And
No, I think it's very similar to your situation. When you met Brenda, you're like, this is it. This is my wife. This is my partner for life. I'm all in. I had a similar experience with Lindsay. When I met Lindsay, I'm like, all right, this is it. Priorities change. So you realign your goals and priorities, and then you continuously work at them, and then everything comes when the time is meant to be. So again, going back to the comment you made where you can't control things and you don't know when things are going to happen, and this whole life is just up in the air and we roll with the punches. For me, it was meeting my wife and you know, getting to that place where mentally I turned from things I thought were priorities that are no longer priorities, and then building a life and building a family and doing all these other things that are, you know, above all my old priorities, and going all in with them.
Yeah.
So that was it for me.
Yeah, that's the key. And it's weird that you just know, like we talked about this before, where there's a difference between, because you kind of were on both sides and so was I, where we're like, you remember when I was hung out, and I've told Brenda this story a bunch of times, but when I sold my company down in Miami and I started working for Coke again, it was a very humbling experience for me, right? You know that, squirrel. And I stayed with my dad for a little bit, and eventually it worked out to where we moved in together, and that was a huge mistake, but some of the best fun ever. But it was funny. It was funny because like I thought, like in my head, I was like, oh, dude, I know who I'm going to be with, right? And you remember this broad's name where I was like obsessed. I was like, this is the girl. Turns out on the flip side, once I met Brenda, it's like it's a different feeling. It's better than you thought it was. Like it's a weird, you know, we always think we love each other. I've told girls that I love them and then I'm going to marry them. I don't even know how many times. A lot of times when I actually believed it, other times I just want to get in their pants. But most of the time, obviously, as you can imagine, I lied to every single one of them except Brenda, because it's the only one I've right. Yeah. So, but you're at the moment you're so convinced.
No, I knew when you knew, man. And when you called me and you were living in a place in Heathrow, and
that's right.
I was downtown. And you're like, dude, and it's forgive me for this term, but we use it all the time because our fathers do. But like, dude, this broad's it's the one. And I'm like, you sure? Yeah. You've only known her, and she's like, oh, I've been through all these things with her and this and that, and she's definitely the real deal, and blah blah blah. Yeah. But I could see a change in you, like personally. But as soon as that hit, I was like, all right, he's toast. That's gonna be his wife.
That's right.
And then when you told me you were gonna propose to her and all this shit, I was like, I saw it coming. I'm like, all right, I can see a change in you personally, and I'm like, all right, this is a real deal.
Yeah, and it's
weird.
It
doesn't happen every day. It's when you know, you know. Everyone says that. It's cliche.
It's so cheesy. Yeah.
It's silly shit. It's dumb. It sounds stupid, and everyone says it. But when you know, you really know.
Well, and you know, the one thing I will say, and then I'll let you guys go, but the one thing I will say is, you know if you know, but you can only get to that point if your own life is fixed.
Yeah, sure.
Like, you got to figure out numero uno. Yeah.
You have to be the person you want to be to attract the person you want. So if you're not personally sound and in the right mindset and in the place where you want to be, you're never going to find who you want to be with. It's not going to happen. Yeah. So until you get yourself to that place to meet that individual, to attract that person you want to be with, you're kind of just lost, like just wandering around, spinning your wheels.
Yeah, man. Yeah, in that instance, it's okay to be selfish.
Sure.
If you're even like on the fence, if you're listening out there and you're on the fence about the person you're gonna be with, or like the job that you're at, or whatever it is, if you're not completely happy, do not waste your time with the relationship. That would be my advice, because I feel like I probably ruined a lot of relationships where, who knows? I mean, I don't really believe in soulmates. I believe in meeting someone that you have a connection with and you both are in the right spot, and you're going to work at it every day for the rest of our lives. We're going to work at it. God forbid something happens down the line. It doesn't mean that, we weren't soulmates. It just means, it didn't work out. It is what it is. You just try to do the best you can at the moment. So I think if you're with somebody and it's a toxic relationship and you're not happy personally with where you're at, there's nothing you could do to make that person and you get along. Like, you both have to be in a good situation. That would be the one thing.
I agree.
Yeah. But good, man. Listen, I'm super happy for you, bro. I'm proud of you. We've come a long way for sure. Nothing but exciting stuff on the horizon. It's all easy now, man. You got the hard stuff out of the way. We got the bullshit 20s out of the way. We did all that. We did the noise.
Yeah.
And now it's the easy stuff, like raising kids and having mortgages. That stuff's easy, bud.
Is it?
I don't know. Let me know how it goes. But no, listen, man. I know you guys. It's late over there, but Steve, man, good talking to you, man. Good catching up. We'll you got to have me on your podcast, man. We'll shoot the shit some more.
Gladly.
And Squirrel, hopefully I can get you over here at the new Casa, man. You and the wife and the future Dada, and you guys come hang out. We'll do a live in person podcast. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll come down to the old Apollo eventually. Next time you're in Orlando, I know you have many events going on right now.
Yeah.
Your current situation, you're pretty free.
I'm free. I can come over anytime. Actually, now's a good time.
I have a guest room.
Woo!
You guys can practice inseminating each other, or you inseminating
Each
Brenda.
I mean, we haven't tried it that way. Maybe it works. I don't know.
Cut that out.
That might be the way they do
I
it.
think
so.
if Brenda straps on.
Let me ask you though. Have you tried it? Does it work? We don't know. Let's give it a shot. I'll test it out. I'll be the test dummy.
That's why Lindsay's pregnant right now.
Let me know how it goes, buddy.
Because she impregnated you, so she's pregnant.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right, cool.
That's how it works.
Listen, man, it was good talking to you, Steve. Shane, it was good talking to you for the 30 seconds you were on. And,
Yeah. I tried to be here as much as I could, but
That's all right. You got a kid now. You got a family. You got no time for your boy. It's all good, buddy. I love you.
Oh, stop it.
All right, but hey, enjoy your Sunday night and enjoy your work week. I'm gonna enjoy mine.
Sir.
I will see you guys later. Peace.
Great talking to you, brother.
Man. See you, brother.
Later.